Meanwhile, at Afya House, Health Cabinet Secretary Mutahi Kagwe is still trying to find the right cure for the misdoings at the National Quality Control Lab. The CS has yet again ordered the transfer of 2 senior officers accused of gross misconduct, conflict of interest and abuse of office. NTV's Seth Olale reports that such previous attempts have failed after the officers moved to court to stop their redeployment.
Health Cabinet Secretary Mutahi Kagwe had last Friday signed off on the transfer of Dr. Pius Wanjala and Hezekiah Chepkwony, both Senior Deputy Chief Pharmacists at the National Quality Control Laboratory. Dr. Wanjala has been deployed to the Moi Teaching and Referral Hospital, while Chepkwony has been transferred to the Kenya Medical Training College. The legal division of the ministry had warned of far-reaching consequences if a proper disciplinary process at Afya House was not effected. The division accused Wanjala and Chepkwony of conflict of interest, abuse of office, and failing to develop and implement a disciplinary code of conduct at the Quality Control Lab.
We have now deployed more than 35 people into various areas and various transfers. As we try to reform the ministry, we will send people to areas where we feel they can be most effective and most efficient. If we didn't think they were good enough for where they were going, then we'd be getting rid of them.
Dr. Pius Wanjala.
Wanjala is accused of violating the Public Officers Ethics Act and the Employment Act by engaging in full-time private practice as an advocate through Masika and Koros Advocates, despite being a full-time employee of the Ministry of Health. He's also accused of appearing in no less than 10 cases filed between 2016 and 2019, affecting the operations of the pharmaceutical industry in Kenya, either as an applicant or advocate for the petitioners. Wanjala has already petitioned the courts to stop the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission from investigating him. The Chief Executive Officer of the National Quality Control Lab, Dr. Hezekiah Chepkwony, and the entire Board of Management have been accused of failing to control errant members of the Secretariat and have used public funds to institute various proceedings in different courts against the government. However, CS Kagwe is likely to face resistance from the 2 senior deputy chief pharmacists who have previously ignored the transfer orders and instead sued their employer.
Your contract of employment says you can work for NTV in Nairobi and you can work for NTV in Mombasa. So if you are told deployed to Mombasa and you feel that you don't want to work in Mombasa, then there is a natural thing, it's normal practice. Is you give your letter of resignation, alafu you come to the Ministry of Health or somewhere else.
The National Quality Control Laboratory and the Ministry of Health have had a strained relationship since 2019 when former Health Cabinet Secretary Cecily Kariuki ordered the removal of the director, Dr. Hezekiah Chepkwony, and his 2 deputies and sacked the board. The court reinstated the board of directors. The National Quality Control Lab has also been on the warpath with the Pharmacy and Poisons Board for the control of the lucrative multi-billion shillings business for the making and import of pharmaceuticals. Seth Olale, NTV.